now like to invite the Commissioner of Yukon, the Honourable Doug Phillips, to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. From the election results of October the 11th, 2011, and in accordance with our laws, I'm pleased to have Premier Darryl Paslowski agree to form the next Government of Yukon. It's indeed an honor to welcome all members, families, and friends to witness this special day. The electorate has spoken, and as Commissioner of the Yukon, and in my capacity as Lieutenant Governor, I have the authority to ceremonially and legally swear the Premier Paslowski and his Cabinet to Yukon's 33rd Legislative Assembly. As Commissioner of Yukon, I have several roles. I provide royal assent to bills. I deliver speeches from the throne. I preside over the opening and the closing of the legislature. And as the executive officer of the territory, I witness and confirm the oaths you take in my presence here today. I'd first like to acknowledge and thank all the Yukoners who let their names stand for office in this past election, whether you were successful or not. As well, I'd like to thank all the volunteers, the family and volunteers of people who worked on your campaigns. When we watch the news in the evening and read the local newspapers, we know that there are many conflicts around the world and many people striving to attain a democracy. We should be very grateful for our strong democratic system and for those who work so hard to preserve it. Some of you here today are incumbents and you have years of experience, but there are many new members that will need a certain period of time to adjust to their roles. I'd like to wish you all the best and say to you that as you assume your positions, that you give it the utmost importance and attention. You have an important task ahead of you as members of the Yukon Legislature and of the Yukon Cabinet, in not you only represent your own riding, but you represent the concerns of all Yukoners. Yukon, as we know, is the best place in the world to live. We're currently experiencing very good economic times, and the job your job in the next 5 years will be to ensure that the decisions you make will help see that this prosperity continues and leaves no Yukoners out. As a former member of the Legislature Assembly, I'd like to offer you a bit of advice. I clearly remember the day that I was sworn in as a member of the Legislative Assembly and later as a minister. It's an exciting and proud day for all of you and your families. I know from my experience in this house that you will enter this house and you may feel that you have the best idea in the world to solve Yukon problems. Your ideas may be great, but you should not be surprised when others try and change and amend parts of those great ideas. You'll learn quickly that politics is a game of compromise, and the best way to get things accomplished is to work with others. Remember that compromise is the ability to listen as well as to speak. They say that patience is a virtue, and you're going to need lots of it, because change in government takes time. You must be patient, but you must temper it with a lot of persistence. And believe me, persistence works. I'd like to leave you with one last thought as you embark on this new chapter of your life. In my view, this is probably the most important issue that you should keep in mind as you carry out your duties as a Premier, as ministers, or a member of the Legislative Assembly. This is a good day for you. In fact, it's a great day for you and your families. From your political standpoint, this will be remembered as one of your best days. They will not always be this enjoyable. One of the things that happens when you enter politics is you do get criticized by the media and other groups out there that are not happy with what you've done. That criticism, as a politician, after a while you get a thicker skin and you can absorb it. But the thing that you have to make sure that you do is that you have to take care of your family. Your family doesn't deal with it the way you deal with it. Your families are subject to reading the papers, they're subject to people talking to them in the street or other places, and they can't respond to the media as you can. And so you have to make sure that when you go home at night, that you take care of those families who for so many years have taken care of you. Premier Paslowski, as for the office of Commissioner, I know we worked together the last few months, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the near future. Premier, Cabinet members, and members, I congratulate you on behalf of the people of the Yukon Territory and wish you all the best as the Yukon's 33rd Yukon Legislative Assembly. Good as Chief, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.